Good morning. I found a nice big 2-pound container of strawberries on sale at the store. So I'm gonna make some strawberry jam. Yay! I know I haven't made just strawberry jam in like forever. I've been making wild berry, wild blackberry. I'm gonna do some wild grape jelly next time. This is like a pre-run to see how well. So let's get started. I washed my strawberries and then I'm gonna cut them into chunks, basically like fourths, so they are easier to break down, you know. And then I'm just gonna do this quick and easy because I'm just making like basically one jar for right now. I am just gonna do it in the microwave because it's super easy. You literally just need the fruit of your choice. I prefer the ball, no sugar, low sugar fruit pectin, and then just sugar. And maybe a little bit of juice. Maybe, you know, you can use water if you don't have juice. Juice will make the flavor more strong, more intense. So I might put like maybe a little bit of fruit juice in this just to go with it. So simple. Be right back. I had more strawberries than I kind of thought, so it's going to be more jam than I thought. But you know what? This is really the perfect thing to do when your strawberries are not, see how they're not quite as deep and red? Make jam out of them. You'll still get that delicious strawberry flavor. And you don't have to worry about it. I prefer to do this when my berries are like overripe. And then it's something I can do without having to throw them away. So if your strawberries, or any fruit really, is like starting to go bad and you're like, crap, it's too soft, too smushy, too bruised to eat solid, like, you know, just bite into it, turn it into jam. So unbelievably easy. All right, so we added a little bit of liquid. I'd say probably less than a quarter cup in here, just enough to help break down those berries a little bit. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of sugar. Oh, got my sugar jar here. 1, 2, just do 3. Like normally I want to add so much, but we are making jam. We do want it a little bit of sweetness. Oh, you know what? I use the same spoon to get my pectin. And then we'll add the pectin into it. And then I'm just going to put this thing in the microwave for probably, I would say, 3 minutes. We'll stop and stir it every minute or so. Then we'll see if we need to add more pectin. I know most people would measure their stuff. I've been doing this so often, I kind of just go by looks. So I know usually I want to add half as much of this as I do the sugar. That's my kind of ratio thing I keep in my head. Let's go heat this up. Almost forgot. Don't forget to rinse your jars. I'm going to use this one and my little, so I got an 8-ounce and a 4-ounce. Might be 3.5. I'm pretty sure it's a 4-ounce jar. It's taking a little bit longer than normal, and I just realized it's because they're fresh berries. So normally I take my fresh fruit and then I'll put it in the freezer when I want to make jam out of it. And then I just take the frozen berries out of the freezer whenever I'm ready to make the jam. And that's because when you freeze your fruit, it kind of breaks it down a little bit. So when it thaws, it's like mushy. It's really easy to you know, turn into anything soft like pies or jams and jellies. Fresh fruit from the vine, I need like this is a potato masher. Gotta kind of squash those berries and break them up so you get the juices out. Then you get, you know, jam or jelly and not fruit that's in gelatin. You know, it's a difference between Jell-O and fruit preserves. So this has been 2.5 minutes already. So not bad, but not quite what we're going for. So I think this might actually take 5 minutes. Like I said, it's a little bit of a bigger amount because I want it to boil. That's like the key. So I could do this on the stovetop, but then I'd have to watch it, make sure it didn't burn or nothing. In the microwave, I can just put it in there, stir it every couple minutes, and just, you know, make sure it doesn't boil over. But yeah, I usually just let it boil for a minute or so, sometimes 2 minutes, just depending on, you know, if I want a nice thick, solid, like can of cranberry kind of jam, either you could slice almost, or if I want nice soft fruit preserves, which is what I'm going for today, the nice soft fruit preserves that go on everything, you know. It's like pie in a jar. That's what I call my jam. Pie filling in a jar. It's so good. I just want to see. Yeah, it's just a little bit of sugar. So remember, we added 3 tablespoons, but this is almost 2 cups of jam. So yeah, an extra tablespoon is not gonna hurt it. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more of the pectin too. I mean, truthfully, I don't think you really need that much. It's just if you cook it more, it will get harder, kind of a thing, you know. So if I cook it less, it's really easy sometimes to add too much. I did that one time. I was like, this is not becoming jam-like, so I kept adding more and more, and I just realized once it gets to a boil, it's gonna become nice and solidified, you know. So bringing it to a boil is the key. Got to get that sugar boiling. All right, back to the microwave it goes. We are almost there. We are almost there. So it started to boil, which it gets kind of foamy on the top. I'm just gonna do another quick press to squish some of that, because I'm not gonna strain it. There's no like seeds in strawberry, so I'm not gonna worry about, you know, getting. And I like the real fruit bits, as long as they are not really big. This is where cutting your fruit into the chunks kind of helps a little bit, so you get smaller bits, because strawberries are kind of stringy sometimes. So the more you squash it and break those pieces up, the better it'll look when you spread it on your toast, kind of a thing, you know. So I'm just gonna release some more juices off of this, and then I think maybe another minute or 2 in the microwave, and it should be done. Yeah. Strawberry jam. We're almost there. 2 minutes later, see how foamy it's gotten? I let it actually boil up to like right here, and then I was like, okay, better take it out, give it a quick little stir, and let's see, you will know when it gets ready, because it gets, I don't know if you can tell, it gets foamy. It gets nice and foamy on the top, and it actually increases in size a little bit. So this is really close to being done. This actually, now remember, this is boiling, so don't do what I do. Close. You can also just drop it like in a glass of water with an ice cube in it, and then you can tell, you know, by how thick it is. I usually check by just seeing how it slides off my spoon, see how it's still kind of dripping. So back in the microwave for another minute or 2. Remember, the bigger amount you're making, the longer it will take in the microwave. When I make just, a lot of times I'll do like just a little jar like this, and it takes me like 2 minutes. 2 minutes start to finish, and I'm enjoying jam on toast. Back in the we go. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's done. I did a rookie mistake. I let it boil over, and it was like dripping down here, and I'm like, no, you're done. But I'm gonna give it another quick stir to get some of this foamy stuff. I mean, if you get a lot of the foam, you can always scoop it off if you want. And then we are ready when it coats your spoon like that. Jar time. We get to put it in the jars. We get to put it in the jar. I'm hoping I get to fill up this one and the other one. Look at that. Put its lid on. And since I'm going to store these in my fridge because we eat them so quick, I'm not going to bother with hot water bath canning it because it's pretty hot, so it should seal the lid as it is. I know, because these are the ones I make all the time. With this lid, it's just a repurposed container. It has a really decent lid, and the glass jar is phenomenal. So I've been using these for a couple months now, and it works beautifully, and it seals. So I'm like, yeah, oh look, I have actually enough to make it just a little counter one too. And then it will pop the lid down here in a minute. So we've got these two, and we will probably fill up this little guy as soon as I get my little thing out of it. And this will be the jam I use on my toast today. Let me try that jar a little bit. So yeah, can't believe that. I used about 1.5 cups of strawberries, fresh strawberries. Frozen works too. But yeah, we used about 1.5 cups plus 1/4 cup of our juice, which it's really just Crystal Light fruit punch. You can make jam, or jelly actually, jelly out of any type of fruit juice, any type, even Kool-Aid. I have made some really good Kool-Aid flavored jams. My kids were obsessed with the cherry Kool-Aid when they were little, you know, like kindergarten, first grade, or whatever. I would make cherry jam or cherry jelly from Kool-Aid, the cherry flavored packets, and it turned out so well. I've made grape jam jelly. Jam is when it's got the fruit in it. Jelly's made from juice. Fruit preserves are usually like the whole fruit and just, you know, some sugar, not really broken up too much. So I like a combination of fruit preserves and jam. That's what I make. But you can make jelly out of anything, any kind of liquid. You can make it. So from the 1.5 cups of strawberries plus about 1/4 cup of our Crystal Light juice, a few tablespoons of sugar and pectin, and we've got 1 8-ounce jar, 1 4-ounce jar, and this little, I think it's a 2-ounce container of jam. I think we did good. It was so easy, and I think it took me longer to make this 12-minute video than it did to make my jam. Happy days, y'all.